Hello students, welcome to a new session. In this session we'll be talking about congruent triangles. Any triangle has 6 elements. What are they? 3 sides and 3 angles. For example, if the 3 sides of one triangle are sides AB, CD and AC, and the 3 angles here are the 3 angles, angle A, angle B and angle C. Let's now go to case 1 for the congruency of 2 triangles. 2 triangles are said to be congruent if 2 sides and the included angle of the first triangle are congruent to their corresponding from the other triangle. Let's see this example to understand it more. If we have here AB as a side is equal to DE, or AB segment is congruent to DE segment, and BC segment is congruent to EF segment, and angle B is congruent to angle E, then these 2 triangles, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Accordingly, AC segment will be congruent to DF segment, angle A will be congruent to angle D, and angle C will be congruent to angle F. Let's go to exercise number 1. In the opposite figure, if AB is equal to AD and BC is 7 centimeters long, and the measure of angle BAC is equal to the measure of angle DAC, and each of them is 25 degrees, and the measure of angle B is 30 degrees, let's complete each of the following. Triangle ACB is congruent to triangle what? Excellent. It's congruent to triangle ACD. Question 2. The measure of angle D is excellent. It's 30 degrees because it's equal to measure of angle B. If this is 30, so this one will be also 30 degrees. And CD is the same in length as CB, so it is 7 centimeters long. Question 4. The measure of angle ACD is equal to what? It's equal to 180 minus the sum of 30 and 25, because the sum of the 3 angles in one triangle is 180 degrees. So the measure of angle ACD is 125 degrees. Exercise number 2. If segment CD intersects segment BA at point F, where FB is equal to FA and CF is equal to FD, so for sure, don't forget that the vertically opposite angles are also equal in measure, so this part is also 35 degrees. So this part is also 35 degrees. Then the 2 triangles are congruent, so angle D is equal to the measure of angle C. Then how can we get the measure of angle C? It's 180. Take away 100 plus 35. So it is 45 degrees. So if angle C is 45 degrees and angle D is also equal to angle C, then angle D is 45 degrees. Case 2 for the congruency of 2 triangles says, if 2 angles and the included side of the first triangle are congruent to their corresponding from the other triangle, then these 2 triangles are congruent. For example, in these triangles, you will see that angle B is congruent to angle E, and angle F is congruent to angle C, and the sides between them are congruent to each other. FE is congruent to CB, then triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Therefore, DE is congruent to AB as sides, AC is congruent to DF, and the measure of angle A is congruent to the measure of angle D. Let's now go to exercise number 3. In the opposite figure, if BC is equal to FD and the measure of angle A is equal to the measure of angle E and each of them is 95 degrees, angle B is equal to 35 degrees and angle D is 50 degrees, and FE is 7 centimeters long. From the givens, you can see that these two triangles are congruent to each other. How come? If we calculate this angle, it's 180. Take away 95 plus 50, so it is 35 degrees. So this angle is 35 degrees. If we calculate this angle, it will be 50 degrees. So, from what we see here, 35 and 35, 50 and 50, and the side between them is congruent to the other side. So these two triangles are congruent, as triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EFD. So to complete the questions, question 1, the measure of angle C is equal to how many degrees? We got it as 50 degrees. The measure of angle F, we got it as 35 degrees. Triangle ABC, as we said up, it's congruent to triangle EFD. AC as a segment is congruent to ED as a segment. And AB is equal to EF, which is 7 centimeters long. Exercise number 4. In the opposite figure, if AC straight line bisects angle DCB, so this means that these two angles are congruent to each other. And the measure of angle D is 100 degrees and DC is 6 centimeters long. Let's complete each of the following. Here, these two triangles are congruent to each other. Triangle ADC is congruent to triangle, excellent, ABC, where the measure of angle B is equal to the measure of angle D, which was 100 degrees, and BC is equal to DC, and DC is 6 centimeters, so BC is 6 centimeters long. Let's now go to the evaluation part. In the opposite figure, if AB is equal to CD and the measure of angle DBC is 35 degrees, where AB is perpendicular to BD and DC is perpendicular to DB, then complete each of the following. If we check here for this triangle CDB, if this angle is 90 and this is 35, so for sure angle C, you can easily get it as 180 minus 35 plus 90 in a bracket. So angle C is 55 degrees. And also here, for sure, angle A will be also 55 degrees. And now, if this is 35, so this one will be also 35 degrees because these two triangles are congruent. If this is 35 and angle D is 90, so this one is also 55 degrees. So the measure of angle M is 180 minus 55 plus 55, so it's 70 degrees. These two angles are vertically opposite angles, so these are the measures of the angles. Let's now try to find what's required. The measure of angle A, as we got it, 55 degrees, where the measure of angle ADC is 55 degrees as well, and the measure of angle DMB is 70 degrees. So students, it's easy and simple if you understand it and you practice more in these questions. By the end of this question, we came to the end of our session. Thank you and good luck.